What's up, bro? What's up? What's up, Shayne Brown? Shots of Brown, downtown Shayne Brown.
Sis,
What's up, star?
we a little. I'm a little late. I'm a little late. I apologize. I know I said 7 o'clock and it's about 7:45. I'm a little late. I'm sorry.
That's okay. These people know you busy.
But we here though.
You got people to see, places to go. All right. Then you got your nerdy PR slash business partner.
Right.
Shayne Brown. Okay. You
Let's get
want
a let's get
to
a
say
let's get a few people in here right quick, sis.
Yeah, that's what we got to do. We got to make sure the people get in. Okay, while everybody's rolling in, I know Shayne has these totally committed moderators. Shayne, you want to shout out your moderators?
Shout
While we
out to
waiting
my
on people,
moderators,
we got some
Whitney
dope
Source,
moderators.
Sister Mary Clarence. I got Tanika, Plain Jane. I got Ebony. Uh, and if I missed anybody, I apologize. Shout out to the whole SOB fam, all the day ones. I appreciate you. We got 10 people in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button. It's free. If you're supporting the channel, you can donate on Cash App or the Super Chat. The Cash App is Shots of Brown 1019. Tonight
That's
I am
right.
here. It's real dope tonight. I got something real special tonight. I'm here tonight with my PR for Shots of Brown, my business partner for CBF Foundation. I'll get more into that later in the week. But I told y'all I've been working. I've been working behind the scenes on a lot of great
You
things.
have. You've been working a whole lot. He has, y'all. He been working.
Right.
I'm
So I've
so
been
proud
working,
of you.
getting a lot of things done behind the scenes, man, in memory of my grandmother. So
The queen.
we here. How you feeling tonight, April? I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm doing.
This is April Campbell, my PR for Shots of Brown once again, my business partner. How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good. I'm just proud to be here with you, and so we can start telling people who. And I know your channel is they're used to you're banned everybody because you have all these beautiful things coming. It's so amazing, and the fact that you've connected with your channel, you have a beautiful base of people. And we're hoping that they can get to know who Shayne Brown is. We know you come from this powerhouse family. It don't get any bigger than Bobbi and Whitney. So I don't care what nobody say. They got to hit the Cash App, the Super Chat, because the stories we're about to drop in the future and which are like coming soon, the foundation, it's about to be so off the chain. And let me just say and be very, very clear. There are no greater people on this earth as far as talent, raw, natural God given talent, than the Brown generation and Whitney Elizabeth Houston, maybe Shakur. But it doesn't get any better than that, right? And you're
Right.
so modest. You know, your channel, I'm glad that you have me on your channel, because you're so modest. You don't understand. You're the nephew of Whitney Houston. That's a big deal.
Right.
You know, and you just sit there and act like it's not a big deal, and I don't like that about you. You're the
Nah,
nephew of Bobby
I know it's a
Brown, the
big I know it's a
Kings,
big
and
deal, but when
Whitney
you
Elizabeth Houston.
right, Bobby
Carol Brown is
Brown,
your
right,
grandmother.
right,
You're Shayne Brown of the Brown Bombers. Okay? Let's
right.
be real. Look, hit the Cash App, Shots of Brown 2019, right, bro?
No, Cash App, Shots of Brown 1019, or you can hit the Super Chat, but Shots of Brown 1019 on Cash App.
But the things that we have coming, y'all gotta support him, because he never asks for support. But the channel is about to be off the chain. He's gonna be around more, and he has so many great things coming. So please support, okay? Tonight we're gonna get to know Shayne Brown. I'm April Campbell. I'm his publicist. Y'all probably heard of me working with. If you follow any of the other channels, I work with quite not quite a few, but a few people. I'm very selective, but I'm very honored to be working with Shayne because he has potential that is so much more than all the great things he's already accomplished in life.
Right.
And you guys are so amazed with all the great things he has coming. He's been working really hard, guys. And on top of that, he's like dad of the year. You know.
I appreciate that. I mean,
Get started interviewing you right now. Can I do that?
yeah, let's go.
Do
Let's
I
get it.
that?
Let's go. Shout out to the day
Can I
ones.
do that, boss?
I
Come on,
see
boss.
y'all in the
Talk to me.
building.
Boss, can I do that, boss?
Let's
Can I
go.
do that,
Let's do
boss?
it. Let's
All
get it
right.
started. Let's
All
go.
right. All right. So we're here with myself, who comes from a background of I've been building campaigns since forever, and I do PR and lobbying and business consulting and developing. And but tonight is about Shayne Brown, and I just really want you guys to take a deep dive into who Shayne is. And you know, he comes from this powerhouse family. He grew up a celebrity kid. He just grew up in the business, so that's no fault of his own. But it's time for him to take advantage of that and start telling these stories. He has so many beautiful stories as a celebrity storyteller and a celebrity in his own right. You know, he was the head of his own group, Brown Bombers. And so tonight we're going to take a deep dive into who is Shayne Brown. I want you guys to really connect with who he is. So Shayne.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell the people it's about growing up, Shayne Brown? They know who you are, but we want them to be able to tell other people who you are, so they can start following you, and we can build this platform up to where it needs to be, right?
So what I need
So I
all my
want
supporters
to
to do,
with Shayne Brown.
shout to Brown supporters, tell a friend to tell a friend about the channel. Y'all keep sharing the videos. Let your people know. Come and subscribe. Hit the like button. All that good stuff. Yeah, I need y'all. Let's get it.
All right. So who is Shayne Brown? I'm
Shayne
talking about
Brown.
growing up Shayne Brown, the kid. Who is Shayne Brown?
Shayne Brown.
The son
I
of
am the son of Tina Brown, Chris Radcliffe, proud grandson of Carol Brown, Pop Brown,
yes, indeed.
nephew of legendary bad boy Bobbi Brown, the voice Whitney Houston, big cousin, first cousin of Bobby Chris, Bobby Jr., Jared, Auntie Bethy. But yeah,
Bobby Brown Jr., the late greats.
Right. I'm just me.
A legendary nigga. And you
In
came here
my own
born
right.
into it. You was born into it, but guess what?
Right.
You've been doing your thing too to be that, right?
Right.
So Shayne, everybody knows your mother, Tina Brown, and they know the infamous badass Bobby Brown. They know the voice of all voices, Whitney Houston, who love you. That lady loves you so much. Oh my God. We'll get into that later about how much she loved her nephew, Shayne Brown, unconditionally, guys. And I know Shayne's been telling you stories, but our objective is to, I want you guys to get to know him on a personable level so you can follow him. And, there are some goals. We got to get the channel up and moving. But, Shayne has these fascinating stories about who he is. And tonight we're going to get to know. We'll get to Mama Tina a little later, but I want you guys to get to know who Shayne's father is. And, we'll also circle back around to Mama, and so you can know who he is and what shaped him to become the young man he is today, to where he loves his family, the work he's doing to keep his grandmothers, and I say that plural, keep their legacies alive. So can you tell us a little bit about your dad? We know about Tina, but for right now, can you tell us a little bit about Chris Radcliffe?
Right. Rest in peace to my father.
Rest in peace.
Chris Radcliffe, born and raised Boston, Massachusetts. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Boston.
Right. Just was raised in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Came up in the streets. He actually went to Did good in school though. Went to college for a little while. Got kicked out of college. Turned to the streets. Started pimping, selling drugs. Got involved in addiction and different things of that nature. And but overall, he was a good man, a strong man. I learned a lot of things from myself, and I just want to keep his legacy alive as well, along with everybody else that I lost.
And that's beautiful, Shayne, because I, as well as your base of supporters, we know that you suffered a great deal of loss. You, your
Right,
uncle Bobby, and the family. Gosh, um, your father. And the reason why I wanted you to talk more about your father, because I know you have a lot of stuff in works of, in terms of books and self-help books to help other people that grew up like that.
right,
But here's what I found most interesting. You know, as unique and beautiful as you are, your story is not unremarkable, right? There are a lot of people whose story is just like yours.
right,
And story has been overlooked because the war on drugs. Instead of, what your father went through becoming a public health emergency, as it should have been, like opioids are now, he became a problem as far as war on drugs. He was wrongfully criminalized, right? So I kind of want to take a step back. I know you said he was a pimp, and that's the most interesting part because we see all these pimp stories coming to fruition, and that's just something your father was forced into doing. It's not something he wanted to do, right? From our conversation,
um,
it was a lifestyle that he just had naturally. He was suave, and we had the
yeah.
black. Hey,
My father was just a
you
was
keep
just
up,
a
baby.
my father was just yeah, suave, young hustler, um,
Good looking,
motivated, good looking young man who just
product of his environment.
found his niche, found his lane, and did what he had to do to survive.
And you know what's beautiful about that? Lots of times, those that are not directly inside of our community, but they benefit from our community. I really hope that your followers can share this live. This is the story of Shayne Brown, guys. This is growing up Shayne Brown.
Right.
We're gonna keep you all night, but we're gonna keep you long enough, and so you can know who Shayne is and what shaped him to do things he's doing. And he has some beautiful things that's coming up in the future. But like he said, his story isn't unremarkable when it comes to the war on drugs. His father was, started out as a pimp because of the conditions growing up in Boston, Massachusetts, where it's predominantly other. It's not, as proud black and or African Americans, because black people, we come from every land. We come from the land of all over.
Right.
And this SOB lifestyle channel is all about, it's a lifestyle. It's not about a sob story. It's about how you went through that and how you were able to rise up out of that. And I just felt that it was very important, so, as well as you, to tell the story of your father and growing up with a father so complex and charismatic as yours. um did, did the drugs did he start pimping because of the drug use, or was the pimping a part of his just trying to survive, much like Richard Pryor grew up in a brothel or whatever, but it was the conditions of the time. The black exploitation films, they glamorized that. So in many ways we had to do what we needed to do. Am I on the right page, or elaborate
Um,
if you don't?
nah, my father, he originally started pimping. My father originally started pimping before the drugs. Like my father was pimping as a teenager. Um,
Wow, as a
so it was
teenager.
before the drug use. I think that lifestyle led to the drug use and things of that nature.
That fast life.
Right.
What did he get caught up in, if you don't mind me asking?
Huh?
If you don't mind me asking, I'm sorry, guys. Are we freezing up? Let us know
No, I
if.
heard you. I heard you. I just
Oh,
can
okay,
build.
okay.
Now we
What
good. What
you
you
know,
say though?
what drugs did he end up getting caught up in during the time period of
Um,
the war?
Like heroin, cocaine, things of that nature. You know what
So
I'm
he
saying?
started out as a seller and then became a user, maybe, or
Right.
because initially those drugs were like the cool kid stuff, right?
Right. Back, back. I guess back in their day, yeah.
Yeah. And I asked you that more, Shayne, because I know a part of what you're doing with your coming soon, stuff you're gonna announce soon. And I won't give that away, but part of what you're doing with your foundation is that you want to kind of target people, who are going through things like that, and provide them with tools, whereas they can choose, you know, other pathways. Take that
Right.
intelligence, turn it into something else. I know you told me that was very important to you, to reach out to the youth and young people, right?
Right. Because I come from a family on both sides where addiction was heavy on both ends. You know what I'm saying? So there was no escaping it in my life. You know what I'm saying? When I was with the Browns, it was there. When I was with my father's side, which was the Radcliffes, it was there. So addiction been like a had a real heavy presence, on my life since a kid. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I just
Yeah.
want to give back to those people, man, who suffer from that and who's trying to, do better, get better for their children, for themselves, and walk a better path. So I just want to be able to aid and assist in with that. So yeah, it's definitely something that's a passion of mine to just to give back to people as a whole. But that's definitely something that I hold
You
near and dear
accept.
to my heart because I've been through it with my mother and my father, so it's something that's real special to me.
And that's where I say you are remarkable, because although the story is unremarkable, as far as our government not treating that epidemic as what it was, a public health epidemic, like they are doing opioids today, with the others that are addicted to, like, with the onset of oxycontin, which did terrible things to people's lives. And it did some great things for people. Some of the stuff still today, we having those issues, whereas a certain demographic or their specific bias, if you can present yourself to the emergency room and you just fell off, 2 stories and your back is broken, and they may offer you ibuprofen, right?
Right,
Whereas other, and I say other because it's, but other, other than, African American or
right. They're
black,
gonna get that. They're gonna get that top notch.
and that's how the epidemic became, a war. It went from being a war on drugs to, oh, this is a public health emergency, we need help, right? And now what
Right,
they're doing is the disadvantage is how they're looping in the heroin addictions and stuff like that with the opioids. So again, people like your father would be excluded from getting the help that they need, right?
right,
Because now you're gonna include, you're looping that in and making it about something else. And people like your father, Shayne, I know, you're a straight shooter and you're transparent and you don't try to glamorize any of that, and you
right,
don't make excuses about
right,
it. And I talked to you, in the past, but I want to say this to you. Your father, what he had to go through back then, people actually had to stockpile, opioids, as far as like narcotics for pain for us, right? For a certain
right,
specific demographic that was brown and black. They actually had to stockpile that. So when the people got hurt, because we had to do strenuous work, we were, picking cotton, raising, we were doing the stuff we had to do for day in and day out, 7 days a week. These people would hurt themselves or get lashings and the whippings on their back. They had no pain medicine. So when our people learned how to make that medicine naturally off of plants, which is, now the same ingredient they use to make the drugs. We stockpiled that not to, sell drugs or to glamorize it. We did it because our people had a need, right? So I just
right,
want you to know that your father had a need to do that, right? And we're not trying to make excuses, but unfortunately, if we don't have people like you tackling these issues and trying to do something about the future and the millennials and the stuff that is now, we don't want, to be continually excluded from having the appropriate pain medication, for the chronic pain or the real pain, whereas you get an ibuprofen for something that may really require morphine or Dilaudid or hydrocodone,
Right.
whatever it is. And that's why I want to interview you and let your people know what you're doing, because I find it so remarkable. Even though the war on drugs is unremarkable, what you're doing is so remarkable, and your channel, your platform, get to see you in a whole new light, and I'm so excited about it. I have to contain myself, right? So
Right.
I'm gonna just try to forward, so I don't give it all away, right?
Right.
And have you at it.
I'm excited as well
So
about everything, and that's why I want to.
yeah,
That's why I haven't been on the channel for the last couple of weeks, y'all, because I've
you
been
don't want
trying
to
to.
give it away before it's
We've
like,
been
yeah,
working, trying to get some things in order.
night and day, guys.
So that's why I've been absent from the
Hit,
channel, but more
hit the
content
like
coming.
button.
A lot of great things coming. I need all Shots of Brown supporters.
That's right.
The whole SOB fam that's supporting. If you support an SOB, donate to the channel. Super chat, cash app, SOB, Shots of Brown 1019. I really need y'all to do that. I got some real good things that's coming in store. I'm gonna be announcing real soon. I'm excited.
It
I'm
requires a lot
excited.
of
We're gonna
preparation.
talk about it soon in upcoming
And we've
videos.
been doing the leg work. Y'all boy been doing it. I'm telling y'all gonna be so proud. But you gotta support. Everybody knows, how it works. It's like, the environment of YouTube. You got to support, through our grassroots effort. Like with Shots of Brown, nobody is like above $2 here or $1 there, and we're all about the shout outs, because trust me, you're gonna want the shout outs when the upcoming stuff that we have for now. And oh my God, Shayne, I don't even want to tell them about the first of the year stuff, where our VIPs are really gonna have a front row seat of excellence, right? A front
Right,
row seat of excellence. And I know we touched on Mama Tina a little bit, but people know who she is. They know she's a rock star. She's a beautiful person. She's resilient. She shoots from the hip. She don't hold back no punches, right?
right.
But I really wanted you to speak on your dad. And I know later we built campaigns around him, stories around him. But before we move on, I would like for you to, do you have a special memory with your father? You know, something else you could tell your audience about who your father is as a man, and how he helped shape you a little bit. Can you talk about that? Who was Chris Radcliffe as a
Um,
man?
my father, he was family oriented though. Know what I'm saying? He was a family man at the end of the day. Know what I'm saying? Loved his children. Know what I'm saying? Loved his family. But memories, as far as memories, I got a lot of great memories. But I'll give you all this. Every summer it was a tradition with that my father's side of the family, and it's that
Yeah.
tradition is still going on to this day, where we go to Martha's Vineyard every year for around 4th of July. We would go like from July 2nd to July
Wait,
9th.
did you say Martha's Vineyard?
Yeah, we would go to Martha's Vineyard. Martha's Vineyard is an island right outside of Boston, right in Massachusetts. So that was
Yeah, I
something that we would
know.
do
And you was
every
at
year.
Hyannis Court with the Kennedys.
Right, right.
Okay.
So we
And
would do that
Dad,
every year for a week or two around the
that's
4th of July.
what I'm talking about.
The whole
That's what I'm
family would
talking
be
about
there,
with
and
my
it was
beautiful
it was
black.
it was it was dope.
That's what I'm talking about with my beautiful black people. We're so resilient, and we're just like, we were born with this class about us,
Right,
I'm pretty sure if we look it up and research it enough, we probably built Hyannisport or Martha's Vineyard. I'm pretty sure some suave black brother created that whole situation, right?
right.
But
I
listen,
bet my grandfather was built half of Boston, so it's we built we built
people
we done a lot.
need to know this stuff.
Yeah,
Who was your grandfather? I know you talking about Papa Brown?
Pop Brown, yeah, yeah,
I
Pop.
love that man. He was so funny. Oh my God. He's a
Rest in
natural
peace,
comedian.
Pop. Yeah,
Rest in peace, Papa Brown.
Pop was
And I think
hilarious.
that's where Mama Tina and all y'all get that comedic side from.
Right.
Even Bobby has that
Not,
comedic.
but my grandmother, she was funny too. She was funny. She was real silly too.
I heard she was
Um,
really
so yeah, we
funny.
that come from both of them.
You know what I love about you?
What's
You
that?
love yourself some Grandma Brown.
Oh yeah, that's
Let
my
me tell
heart.
you, you will not let anybody forget about her. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I have this feeling over me, and I promise you, this is divine intervention. I can feel her smiling over you. You remind me of John David Washington. Every time people would try to like big up Denzel,
Right.
you know what he would do? Yeah.
What?
Son of Denzel, he was a hunter, but my mother is Pauletta Washington, and she taught me this and that. And you just like that with your grandmother, Carol Brown, and your other family too. But you're fierce when it comes to her. You let people
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I'm the nephew of Bobbi Brown, and I was a Brown bomber, and I traveled the world. I've been to Japan. My passport got as many holes as Blue Ivy when I was a kid. And guess what? They
Right.
don't know that about you. See, you're too humble. You gotta pop your collar. Pop your collar, bro. Pop that collar, man.
Hey, sis, I'm just I come from.
Pop your collar, bro. You
Listen,
gotta do that
sis,
for me. Okay, can you pop your collar?
we gonna pop it one time for him. We gonna pop it one
There you
time.
go. Your
But
grandfather.
I'm just a regular person like everybody else though. I don't walk there. I
Stop it. I'm sick of you being modest. Stop it.
don't.
Your grandfather. Okay, first of all, your father was a victim of the war on drugs, right?
Yeah, I said
He succumbed to drugs as a result of him being a product of his environment. You
right.
have black, and you're still young, so that meant your father was a very young man. Your mother's still a very young lady. So
Right.
you got the black exploitation films, which it stands for exactly what it
Hold on,
is.
somebody just said,
Explore.
how do you send money? You can send the money cash app shots of brown 1019. Would you go ahead, sis?
Thank you for doing that. And
Thank you
listen, if
too. Thank
y'all
you.
want
Much
these
love.
stories, because you know how he is, y'all. Y'all know this lifestyle. He's from the Whitney Houston Bobby Brown family. That's his family. That's his DNA.
Right.
But what we're doing and the amount of money that he spent out of his own pocket just to get this stuff done professionally and the stuff that's coming. When I tell y'all, please support this brother. He's honest, transparent. Is no bull crapping in what he's doing. Right? I wouldn't be working with him. I'm a product of Obama. I worked for President Obama. I started out as an organizer. Before that, I worked for the district attorney uh, in Jackson, Mississippi. I ran her campaign fierce, and I became the talk of the town because of my ability to raise more money than everybody else. So the fact that he's associated with me, he's pursuing the best because his love for his family like supersedes all other. And I'm not trying to pop my collar because it's all about popping
Now
his
I was just
collar.
about to say, I'm tired of you being modest now. Now you got to pop your collar one time.
Well, I'm gonna pop my collar only because you're my boss right now, right?
Right.
I work for you. My job is to make you realize who you are and the great things you've done and that you're continuing to do and your potential to do even more. You're the nephew of Bobbi Brown and Whitney Houston.
Right.
And your auntie love you so much, like, and people don't know. I mean, some of your base have heard the stories about what happened to you with BMF and stuff, and we'll get into that because tonight is not about that. That's a part of who you are, and we'll tell that story later in the week. But
Right.
right now, I wanted y'all to get to know who his parents was, who he was growing up as Shayne Brown.
Right.
And it's sad because they point more on drugs. I mean, yeah, and they made it about thinking these black people were not they didn't want to be on drugs. They started targeting us. Shayne's father had an addiction to drugs and an addiction to a lifestyle where he had to make a living, right? You got black exploitation films telling him, oh, go find the prettiest woman and you can pimp. But now they're locking us up if we make a song about, our surroundings. How crazy is that you're now in fear of a RICO simply because you're trying to make a living to better yourself? And your father, he didn't succumb to drugs. He succumbed to the creation of drugs and the war on drugs. And I don't think you disagree with me. Instead of them doing a public relation campaign to help the people like they're doing now with the epidemic of drugs and what it does to you from a healthcare perspective, they should have done that then,
Right.
right? Instead, they chose to persecute us. And I'm not trying to put the lawmakers and stuff down because We just had a rogue government that President Kennedy was trying his hardest to fix. Unfortunately, they assassinated him because he was trying his hardest to fix that. And how ironic, brother, is it that you're from Boston? The Kennedys are from Boston. It's like the parallelisms are there. Y'all. It runs parallel. Your dad, who they chose to, place a war on drugs about, took you to Hyannisport, and I could be pronouncing it wrong, and that's okay, Hyannisport, but we know what Martha's Vineyard is.
Yeah,
You would you your dad
we was
took you
in
to
Martha's
Martha's
Vineyard, Oaks
Vineyard.
Bluffs.
Your dad took you to Martha's Vineyard, even with an addiction to drugs that was fed to him by his own government. Let's talk about that. How was that experience?
Martha's Vineyard.
Yes, and you're just being with your dad at Martha's Vineyard. And yes, guys, please hit the Cash App shots of what's your Cash App? Press the like button. Every little bit helps. And forward and reshare.
The Cash App is Shots of Brown 1019. You'll see the Shots of Brown picture up there, but Shots of Brown 1019 for the Cash App. But how was it in Martha's Vineyard? It was.
And what?
Go ahead.
Hold on before you say, guys. I want to say this real quick. And Shots of Brown is more than just toasting to the good life. The SOB is a lifestyle, and we'll talk more about that later too.
Right, we're gonna get into we gonna hit them with it.
Lifestyle. Right. And if you want to be a part of this lifestyle, trust me. Y'all know Shayne is never and I get so angry at him for not doing what is the whole, method of this is what we do. We're
Thank you,
supporting
Deidre, and that's the Cash App.
Yes, and we're supporting each other. We're pulling each other up by the straps. And anything you guys have you're promoting, you already know he's going to support and promote that as well. And he has the most beautiful, amazing people that help him, his moderators and stuff like that. And I don't want to get too far off message, but I'm sorry, Shayne, I had to just insert that, right?
No, you
So
good. You good.
go thank you. And go ahead and just resume telling me, how was it to have that experience with your father going to Martha's Vineyard, where the Kennedy, the Obamas have a place at Martha's Vineyard? Like, come on now, let's hear the good.
Right. Now it was dope though.
How was that?
It was dope. It was actually dope. We was in Oaks Bluffs, Martha's Vineyard. So we would take the boat there. It was like probably about a 45-minute ride, hour ride. We get there, we'd be on my grandmother would prepare the sandwiches and the cooler
Grandma
for the day. We'll be on the beach all day.
Grandma Brown or Grandma Matt? Was it both of you grandmas, Grandma Radcliffe or Grandma Brown, or both?
No, this was my grandma Radcliffe, but we called her Mama. Her name is Mama. But her name is Mercedes Radcliffe, but we call her Mama. That's another one of my grandmothers. She played a major role in my life too, just as much as my grandmother.
Right. So I don't mean to cut you off, but Mercedes, is that I don't do they know that you're a twin?
Yeah, I talk about me being a twin on here.
So guys,
my twin sister got her middle name Mercedes from my grandmother.
Okay, tell me about that. So your sister her middle name is Mercedes from your grandmother.
Right.
That's a real.
Right. That's from my grandmother. Yeah.
Y'all the originator. You got people doing this stuff in the strip club. These people are from Martha's Vineyard. Listen. The Brown family.
Would you say she was
so legendary and so freaking iconic? Oh my God! If y'all don't hit that Cash App, you better.
Right.
Oh
but yeah, so it was
God.
dope though. So we would
you need to be able to tell a friend that I'm a part of something so monumental.
Right.
How amazing.
Yeah, Martha's Vineyard.
How amazing is it that your sister? Oh my God! And that's your twin sister, right?
Right. Twin sister, yeah.
Oh, I'm just so confident. I don't mean to fan out, and you're my friend, and we've been talking, but it's so many things I didn't know. It's just like, oh my God, it's so beautiful, right?
Shout out to Cherie.
Wow. Martha's Vineyard.
Right.
Yeah. Shout out to Cherie. Some big things are popping with her too. Coming
Right.
soon. Shout out
Right.
to Cherie. We don't want to leave Cherie out. We gotta get her to pop her collar too.
Right.
So with your dad's side and the things that they brought to the table, is there any here's what I want to we're gonna move forward because I can smile all day about the fact that your dad was a victim of the war on drugs, but he still was able to take his kids to freaking Martha's Vineyard where the Kennedys have vacation homes, where history has connected the dots and the Obamas have vacation homes. Whereas he didn't make, but he wanted his daughter to be as normal and be as upstanding citizen as can be, to distinguish the narrative. And that's not our narrative because by nature, we're great people and we do good. We're innately great people. We're innately good people.
Right.
And I thank you for that memory because it doesn't get any better than that. You're the nephew of Bobbi Brown and Whitney Houston. And here you stand, the son of Chris Radcliffe, the grandson of Carol Brown and Mama Radcliffe, Mercedes Radcliffe, an epidemic name. And people would think that you had it. I know the hard times was there, but who would have thought that you spent time, one of your greatest memories is your grandmother's packing nice sandwiches to picnic on Martha's Vineyard, a black man, a black kid. The narrative that they formed about us is so wrong, and you got to continue to tell these stories, bro. I'm so happy that I have you here to tell that story because that's who we are. And I'm glad Oprah is finally opening up about who black men really are and how they tried to force us out of the household. But
Right.
even without being in the household, your father took you to Martha's Vineyard
Every
to pop
year.
your collar.
Right.
And with that said, I can go on and on, but as we move into the next segment, and I don't want to, we'll come back to your father because there's a beautiful story to be told about, the things he's done where people have made films. I actually think the film Foxy Brown and Sheba Baby is your father's story. I actually do because Tarantino made those movies. And y'all think I'm just talking crap about saying this, but later on you'll learn some of the people that Shayne's father that was connected with, whereas those could have actually been his stories. His father was connected with some really big wigs,
Right.
you know. Whereas the Sheba Baby and all that stuff, the black exploitation, his father actually lived that life. He wasn't just a person on drugs because drugs was as common and as a ritual as church on Sunday or
Right.
brunch for the elite. It was just that ritualistic. And
Right. The drugs definitely ain't define him. He was just somebody who got caught up
a
in that
victim
era.
of that, right?
That's what was going on, and he just got caught up like everybody else.
Oh, Shayne, before we move forward, um they know your family knows a lot, and I say family meaning your channel because they are your family. You know everybody personally, and I found that to be fascinating. I want y'all to know that Shayne know y'all personally, and I don't care if it's only two in here, but it's much more than that. But let friends know. Of course, this live will be available afterwards. For people to watch and view
Right.
and
Yeah, we're gonna keep it up.
and donate. But Shayne, can you tell us a little bit about how it was growing up with your mother, Tina Brown? Can you give us before we move into how it was being a part of the Whitney and Bobbi dynamic and being the older cousin to Bobbi Jr. and Bobbi Chris?
Right.
Can you leave us with the story about your mother, Tina? Because we all admire her, and your channel knows her. Can you
Right.
leave us, you know, or some of her, and we'll come back to some more stuff. But can you leave us with a story about Mama Tina?
Um. So many. So many.
I know, but just
But
pick one.
my mother was, my mother was a strong woman. You know what I'm saying?
Still is, right?
One of the strongest, one of the strongest
With
people.
the infamous badass, the king of stage, Bobbi Brown. She had to be, right?
Right. But my mother, she was just a strong woman, man. One of
Did
the
she really
strongest
start about
people that I know in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just seen her overcome so much. She's been through a lot, and even through everything that she's been through, I always been there to support her through it all. Um, she wasn't the perfect mother, but she was perfect for me. You know what I'm saying? She was good
Oh, that's
for
so
she was good for me. But I just my mother, my mother, was funny, just like Pop and Ma.
that's obedient, huh?
My mother's a hustler. You know what I'm saying?
She's
Loving
a
got a
hustler's baby.
right.
She's
Loving
a
got a
what,
got
how
a
does it
big
go?
heart. Right. Loving got a big heart. She, and just like my father, she's just one of those who, had a rough upbringing and been through some things in her life to, to where she, she might have not always chosen the right path, but she did the best she could. You know what I'm saying? So I respect her and I always love her for that.
She
My
was
mother,
there.
yeah, she's a beautiful woman.
I just thought it was important still because this is growing up Shayne Brown.
Right.
So growing up with your father having, a unique lifestyle, your mother as well, and somehow, you know, it was side by side. And that's important to note because the war on drugs was actually a public health epidemic, right? It was, at that time, Shayne, it was no different than COVID.
Right.
They was dropping this stuff in communities with the whole Target campaign that we later learned was, the drugs was to, especially dropped in places like Boston and New York to dismember
Well, they
black
they
youth,
was dropped in all black communities across the world. You know what I'm saying?
to dismember black unity so we wouldn't get
Right.
along. Awful.
Right. Right.
And what's fascinating about that, and I know we'll talk about it later, guys, what's fascinating about that is Shayne's father, although he was a victim of that, he overcame that and he never let that dictate who he was. He had other issues that he dealt with. And it's important that we put that out there because the work you get, that's coming soon. It's important that we know the story of Shayne Brown growing up with a father like, Chris Radcliffe, who, although he was faced and targeted with the war on drugs, this man was so fascinating. He was a part of the entertainment industry, right? And
Right.
he was able to take his son to Martha's Vineyard. Do you know how significant that is, my brother?
Right.
He wanted you to not be easily impressed. You know that, right?
Yeah, I've never been
And
that from the jump.
that's part of that helps shape who you are. He didn't want you to be easily impressed. He wanted you to know that there was a different life out there for you. And
Right.
that's part of I just want you to know, just friend to friend, I think that's part of the reason why you're, and I say this, I tell this to one of my other friends, you're what a woman would say, separate the men from boys. And I think your dad, with all his addictions, he wanted you to be able to separate yourself from the boys to become a man,
I appreciate it.
right?
I appreciate
And how ironic is that your uncle is a part of a group that has a song, Boys to Men?
that. Right.
How ironic is that you grew up around the infamous badass who let you see so much. But guess who had already prepared you for it? Who had already prepared you for Bobby Brown? Just go on and tell us.
My parents,
Chris
shit.
Radcliffe.
My father and my mother, both. Right.
Yeah. You got two iconic parents. Isn't that amazing?
Right.
And before we move on, can you tell the people what your mother did, some of the great work she did as a strong woman within the Bobby Brown camp? Because lots of times people think that when when you're the aunt or sister or artist, they think that, you know, their family members are just hanger-ons and they're not doing anything or they're begging or whatever. No, it was none of that. When you hear these brown women protecting their brother Bobbi, it's because they love him genuinely. They don't care if he's into it with them. That's what friends are for. Shayne will tell you he and I go at it, but he know when it comes to protecting him and his image, I ain't backing down.
Right.
Am I backing down?
Nah. That's why I love you though,
No,
April.
I'm asking.
No, you never back down. No, you don't. That's why
I
I love
love
you.
you too, but
But as far as my mother, what you
can you
said, as
tell
far as
people how your
right,
mother held it down?
right, as far as my mother though, my mother started out originally on tour with Uncle B. She was, your phone going in and out, April. Your phone going in and out. Your phone going in and out. It's going in and
I
out.
got perfectly, but you know I got AT&T. AT&T, you got to do better, bro.
Yeah, I got AT&T too. And for everybody that's in the chat right now that's asking who is the guest tonight, this is my PR for Shots of Brown. This is my business partner for CBF Foundation. Um, a great friend of mine. This is who grew into becoming family. A sister of mine, April Campbell. For those who just come in the chat, this is my PR, and you know, so I just wanted to reintroduce her. But as far as my mother, she started out doing security and things like that on the road for Uncle B, and then she branched
Security,
off.
y'all better hear that.
You know
The
Tina
only
Brown.
other one I knew security for an artist was Muhammad Ali's wife. Y'all better
You know,
hear that.
you know Tina
Y'all
Brown
better,
always always had a reputation of being crazy. You know, so that kind
you
of fit her.
gotta be.
Yeah, that kind of fit my mother doing security. That kind of fit her, but but outside
She
of
don't
that though,
play
my
when it
mother
comes to her
started. She
family. I
did
can
great
tell
things
y'all
with
that.
promoting. She promoted shows and things like that on the New Edition tour. She promoted a lot of things here in Atlanta and various other states. She did management, Big Six Entertainment. She did a lot of great, good things. Wish she would have
And
kept it going, but
doing,
she did. She did a lot of great things.
even with her health issues, she's still doing great things.
Right,
Let's give a round of applause for Tina Brown, the woman who birthed my great friend.
right,
She she birthed the one and only, the originator of the Brown Bombers, his rap group, where he did his thing, where he had his excursions with.
right.
Get into that later, but they already heard about your story when y'all got the Mercedes. Y'all rented the Maybach, and
Yeah, in LA. Yeah, that
we'll
was
get
in
to that
LA
later.
during. Yeah, that was
They were kids balling in the Maybach, y'all.
right, right. We was in the
We'll
bands and
talk
things.
about that.
We'll get to that too. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, we'll retell that story in the most fascinating way. Because Shayne is a little bit sometimes, because he, bro, you just so used to this. You've had this legendary walk in life and this lifestyle. You were a baby. You were in Japan at in '89. So growing for you to be telling your story, I'm glad you allowed me to, you know, get you to tell your story because you were in Japan. Your freaking passport had more stamps than Blue Ivy. Isn't that? And you still trying to be modest. That don't make no doggone sense.
um, no,
Why
I
are
did.
you still being modest?
My passport definitely had a lot of stamps from a child for sure. But
How was how was Japan, bro? How was Japan with Bobby Brown and Mike Tyson?
Japan was dope. Japan was dope. We was over there. I remember being over there with all the cousins. You know, Uncle B's
Oh,
kids.
Kelsey was there
Kelsey, yep, Kelsey.
with all that pretty hair.
Right. Uh, along with all my cousins, the Uncle B always kept his sons and the nephews around, so we was
Yeah,
always, you
y'all are
know.
family oriented. Did y'all get that from Mama Brown or just Papa
You
Brown?
know,
It's just
I
like the y'all so family oriented.
yeah, we got that from both. Though. I said we got that from both Pop and Ma. Yeah, I said we got
Yep.
that from both Pop and Ma. Yeah. But
And
Japan
Shayne,
was
what
dope though. A lot of dope memories in Japan. You know, just being on
Japan?
stage and then you know, Japan is where I really found out Uncle B was really a superstar for real. When we left, uh, the fans had surrounded the the hotel and all type of craziness was going on, and I'm like, man, who is Uncle B? And that's when that's when it really started hitting me. Around that time, yeah.
And Shayne, that's so perfect. That was questions. That was gonna be my next question. Like, when did you? Because you was traveling at, with your mom, or I think what your mom was a backup singer. Was it?
Nah, Auntie Lily
Y'all,
was a
the whole
backup.
family was in on the business, much like
Yeah, Auntie Lily was a backup singer. Yeah, Auntie
and
Lily did
mom
back.
did all the. Mama Tina did the security.
Right. Yeah, my mother did the
Mama
security
Tina
for.
was like Muhammad Ali's wife. Make sure the security was intact.
Right, she did security for like the background dances. I mean, yeah, the background dances and things of that nature. Yeah, all the women.
I don't think you know how iconic that was, bro.
That's pretty. That's dope.
I don't think you know.
You know what's crazy though, but
You know Muhammad Ali
when you don't grew up in it, and this is like you've been living it your whole life, it's like it's
is like
normal to you.
it's
And sometimes people be like, "Damn, you be like how you say, why you so modest about it?" It's like
so nonchalant.
it's just normal to me. This is my life. I've been living it all my life, so it's just like,
Again,
I mean,
hit the like, the subscribe, hit the PayPal, hit the not PayPal, but the
the
Cash App and the
Cash App,
Super Chat.
shots of Brown 1019, hit the super chat, all that.
I have the honor of interviewing Shayne Brown, the nephew of Bobbi Badass, the infamous king of stage. You can say what you want, but you better spell his name right.
Right.
And the Whitney Elizabeth Houston, maybe Shakur.
Right. Brown for
I
sure,
had to get that in there,
though.
Shayne.
Right. Brown for
But
sure,
anyway,
though.
and you love her, and I love the way she loved you and how she protected you guys and made sure
Right.
you was good.
Right.
I know your fans have heard that story, but there's a beautiful story that's going to come after that too that we're going to get more into later on. And
Right.
again, guys, the reason why I'm not elaborating on some of these stories because we're gonna do stories all this week. I have the honor of interviewing Shayne all this week because it's important that his audience, his target, his members, the people that he loves, he know y'all by name, and he's depending on y'all to share everything. Get a
Like
friend
I
to.
know all my day ones by name though. Shout out to everybody I talked to. I talked to all my day ones. I talked to a lot of people that follow and support Shots of Brown a lot on social medias, Instagrams, all social media platforms. If you're not following already on Instagram, follow Shots of Brown on Instagram. We put all type of pictures and all different type of content up on there, so y'all be sure to follow. But shout out to my day ones and everybody who's been supporting from day one, man. I appreciate all y'all for real.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So, I know because just for the sake of time, because I know you have an event later tonight. I wanted to kind of segue, and we'll read stuff a little later.
Right.
Thank you for sharing the story about your dad, and we'll definitely revisit. So, his dad is iconic in his own sense. Stuff that you guys don't know yet, but we're getting you guys prepped and ready for what's to come. This is just tonight. All this week, we're gonna everything we touch on tonight. We're gonna, elaborate more this week, and of course, we've been hearing all the stuff y'all want to hear more about that requires a great deal of research, and I'm telling you that it does because we have to go back on the paperwork with the Graves lady. Trust me, Shayne hasn't forgotten about that, but
Got
it's
more
just such an
content coming.
in-depth.
More content
Yeah,
coming.
it's an in-depth process. Trust me, but support your boy. He needs your support. So Shayne, real quick, because I know you have an engagement later. I want to real quick. Can you talk about how was it growing up as an older cousin of to Bobbi Kristina and Bobbi Jr. Well, I'll put Bobbi Jr. first because he's older.
Older,
But
right?
can you yeah, because they're gone. They're late, and they were great in their own right. They were
Right.
doing iconic in their own right. So, can you touch a little bit on growing up with Bobbi Jr.?
Bobby Jr. um, Bobby Jr.
A trip, right?
he was a true. He was funny. He was like Bobby Jr. was like the life of the party. Once again, he was funny, big heart. You know what I'm saying? one of the
Was
best
he a lot
cooks.
like Bobbi?
No, listen, Lil Bobby, one of the best cooks. Like for real,
Really?
love to
Better,
cook. Yeah, he
you
loved to
know, Bobby,
cook.
he was better than them.
Um,
He was on the same radar with them.
he
Okay,
was
we'll just
up
say
there.
that.
He was up there. Lil B did his thing. Lil B came and
Right.
stayed with me for some months, man. And here in Atlanta, Lil B, he cooked his ass off. But
What was one of his favorite dishes that he made? Because I can tell you looking like I missed that food.
nah, I was just thinking like he made this. I was just thinking about a dish that he made one night when we was at the crib. It was like a shrimp. Like Uncle B got this shrimp dish that he made, and it was like a shrimp and rice, and it was crazy a combination. But yeah, Lil B, he was definitely a good cook. But he just had Lil B was just one of them kids with a big heart, man, and let her have a good time. I mean, he walk in the room, he lighten the room up with his. I mean, his presence was
Yeah.
very,
That smile.
his smile, right? His presence was very felt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I miss him. I got a lot of good memories with Lil B. You know what I'm saying?
Do
Along
you
with,
have any good pictures with him?
huh?
Do you have any good pictures with him at all? Because
Yeah, I got a
I
lot
know
of good.
with my BlackBerry crashed, I lost all my good pictures. I hate
I
it.
got a lot of good pictures with Lil B. Yeah, I got a lot of good pictures with Lil Bobby. I do. Um,
What do you miss most about?
the what?
What do you miss most about Lil Bobby?
I miss everything about Lil Bobby. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, I miss everything about everybody that I lost, but I was blessed, man, to be able to talk to Lil Bobby. Like the night before he passed, I mean, that morning before he passed,
Right.
and just let him know. He was happened to be on faith.
Wait,
He
hold on.
he
The
happened to be
morning before you passed, you talked to him?
yeah, because he happened to be on he happened to be on Instagram
Wow.
Live, and I just happened to wake up at like 6 in the morning, and he was on Instagram Live, and I requested that had hit me and he wanted me to join the live. I jumped on there. Me and him was chopping it up. It was right before we was talking about his birthday and him coming here and everything, and we ended the live. We ended the live like, damn, I love you,
Oh wow.
and it was big. It was dope.
So you know what's beautiful about that? Thank God you got a chance to
So
tell
I
him
got a
you
chance
love
to, I got a chance to tell Lil B it was
him.
all
And we're
love.
talking Lil B is Lil Bobby Brown, not Brandy.
Yeah,
You
nah,
know,
yeah, that was Lil Brandon. I'm talking about Lil Bobby Jr. Yeah, I got the chance to tell Lil B that we love each other before he passed. So it was dope. But Lil B, I got a lot of good memories with Lil B. One thing
it's
about
so
Lil B, his favorite drink was Jameson. So he would damn, my last memory with Lil B, we spent some time
all
in
my
North.
white friends love Jameson. That's that white. Y'all from Boston. That's that white people. All my white friends love Jameson. They got me to
Yeah,
drink
he
the
loved,
Jameson. All
yeah.
my friends love Jameson.
Yeah, he loved Jameson. But our last days together, we spent on the beach. We spent in North Carolina with Kid Capri. Shout out to Kid Capri. He
Shout out
brought
to Kid Free,
he
Kid
brought Lil
Capri.
Bobby out on stage and introduced Lil Bobby
Oh,
to
word,
everybody. Yeah, so it
word.
was dope. So my last days with Lil B, man, just a lot of good memories with him.
Shout out to Kid Capri for being
Right,
that guy because all little Bobby wanted to do was pop his collar with his music and
right. That's all. That's
and he
it.
was gifted, bro. He actually had that talent to do
He
it.
had Lil B. He was talented. He could have did some great things if he just would have had the right people in place to
Give,
really help him get to that next level.
given a chance.
Right,
And it's sad because you would have thought he had all that, but you live, you learn, and that's
right.
what tell these celebrity stories. Shayne is a celebrity storyteller. He has big things going on, guys. Please support him with the cash out with his channel.
Shots of
Share
Brown 1019.
there you go.
Right.
Share everything, after we get
Share the
out.
videos. Tell a friend to subscribe to the channel. We trying to hit 7,500 by the first of next month. We at
That
like over 5,200 right now. Let's jump. Let's get these numbers up on this Shots of Brown platform. I'm gonna do my part. I need everybody who's supporting to do their part. So let's get it done.
That's what I'm
Cash
talking
App if
about.
you supporting the channel.
7,500 followers. I'm depending on the viewers and the I know the
Oh yeah,
moderators
shout out
got
to
you.
my mods. They already know. I love my mods.
Make sure y'all moderators, whoever get the. Here's what we're gonna do a challenge, Shayne. Shayne, okay, listen. Who do you think can get the most people to join by November 1st, and what do you think would be a good gift for them out of your moderators?
Uh, out of my
We gotta
mods,
get to 7,500, right? And we're come on.
I said
Who
out
you
of my
think gonna
mods
be
and the
able to
whole,
do it?
out of my mods and the whole SOB fam, I believe in my mods. I believe in my whole SOB fam. I know that
They're gonna get us there.
they gonna get us there. They can do it.
And guess what, guys? We're gonna be consistent. We're gonna be here for the rest of the week. For the rest of the, we may not be able to go as long as we are tonight because we're telling the story of growing up Shayne, and Shayne has an actual engagement tonight where he's meeting with some very important people.
Right.
Which is part of the surprise, the stuff that he's building for you guys and the moderators, whomever is. I'm telling you, whoever got that spontaneity where they can be like, okay, it may be later, whatever, but I know I can get this many people to subscribe and join. And if you can show proof of that, we got a merch, a
We're gonna
whole
do a
merch
giveaway. We're gonna do it. We, you know, if anybody who been following Shots of Brown, they know from jump I've been
with
doing
the whole
giveaways on this
merch kit,
channel.
sweatshirt for the
Right,
fall,
from
lingerie.
merch to cash giveaways.
You think you're gonna drop the poetry album or no? Oh, you're gonna do that next year, right? You're gonna do
We're
that
gonna
in
do it.
January.
We're gonna do a
Okay,
lot
I
of
ain't.
good. We're gonna do a lot of good things. A lot of good things coming soon that we're
But
gonna
y'all
talk.
gonna get a goodie bag, a special message from Shayne. He'll shout you out, shout your business out. He has his IG marketplace is about to launch, where he's gonna start helping people build
Promote
their
their
page.
business, they brand, all that.
Right,
So, yeah, we
and he's rebranding. You see the shot glass. That merch will still be available, but
but
Shayne,
it's a whole new.
oh
We in the
my
process of
God,
rebranding this
oh
whole shots of brown
my
thing.
God,
It's gonna be crazy.
you guys are gonna be so
Yeah,
in love
it's
with
gonna be
the
crazy.
merch. Oh my God. The new merch is going to be so insane in a subtle but beautiful way, right, Shayne?
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be dope. I'm excited.
Okay. So being
Definitely
a big,
gonna be dope.
go ahead, bro.
But what was we on? What was we on?
Oh no, I thought you was about to say something else. We were talking about your being the big cousin. So that was Bobby
Oh, but
Jr.
that was Lil Bobby. But as far as Bobby Chris, she was the same way.
Yeah.
Funny.
What was your
They were
favorite
they were
memory with Bobby Chris? Because she was so lovable,
they
right?
was one and the same. But Bobby Chris, yeah, she was. Bobby Chris, she was. You know, she was. As far as her being a little young girl, she was just another one with a big heart. She would take her friends to the mall, take them all shopping. She was
I
another one
heard
with a
that she do
yeah. She was
that.
another one with a big heart. But Chrissy,
You
she
know,
would go
I saw one of her on TV one time, right? And
right.
she was doing that for she was doing that for LaPrencia, and I think LaPrencia is not really big a little bit, but I know
You
they
know
came
what?
back together like that.
Right. You probably talking about on being Bobby Brown, yeah. But that's just how Bobby Chris was. She had a big heart like that. But at the same time, Bobby Chris, I just remember on the weekends when it was time for Bobby Chris to go to their little hangout spot. It was called the Bricks. It was in Alpharetta, and that was a little hangout spot for all the kids her age. When it was time for her to go there, she'd be crazy, going crazy if you got her there late. You know what I'm saying? So, um, Bobby Chris, she was a funny girl. I love her. I miss her too. I don't know what's going on with you, April. You went out of service down there. What's going on there? You keep moving that phone around. Can y'all hear me? Y'all drop y'all shot glasses in the chat if y'all can at least hear and see me. I know April went out. I don't know what's going on her end, but if y'all could at least see and hear me, y'all drop y'all shot glasses in the chat. Hey, bro, you gotta keep your phone in that one spot you had it in from the jump. It sounds good where it was at. We can't hear you. We can't understand nothing you're saying. We can't understand nothing you're saying on your end. Your phone. You got to keep your phone in one spot. You we. I apologize, y'all, for that. I apologize, y'all, for that. If y'all could at least hear me, y'all drop y'all shot glasses in the chat. Let me know what's up. Your phone hella choppy. It was good how you had it the first time. I don't know. You kept switching it around. That was it. Ain't no it went. It ain't no good. You froze. Nah, you froze. But look, we're gonna try to get April back. We're gonna try to get April back right. If we can't get her back right, we're gonna end the live. But shout out to all the day ones. I see y'all in the building. I appreciate y'all. Shout out. Nah, you froze. No, it's not. You froze. You froze. You going in and yeah, you froze. What's up, Joanne? I appreciate everybody who hit the Cash App. I appreciate everybody who's supporting the channel. If you're supporting the channel, the Cash App is Shots of Brown 1019. You can also hit that super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, you shouldn't be froze, but you are. Everybody in the chat is even saying you froze. You're getting a little. You should have kept it how you had it. Put it how you had it the first time. You was good. We can hear you a little. You coming back, but you froze though. Yeah, you coming back. You just keep your phone. Just keep your phone. Just right. They say you got to keep the phone in one spot. All right, let's go. Y'all hear her now? She back on. She good. I don't know what the hell going on. Who in the room? Let me do some shout outs. Shout out to Joanne. I see you been commenting, Joanne, Deidre, Kimberly. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. I apologize for the inconvenience, y'all. We coming back live. I've been on for a whole hour. I got something I got to do tonight. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We're going to lock in real soon. I'll be back. Love.